Backlash is done and over, and a lot of things happened, so I wanted to talk about it. So I took a shower, I jerked off, and I got all my thoughts together. First up is the Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. LA Knight will come out first and get a huge pop. I mean, the roof on the arena almost came off. At one point, Drew was like in the tree of woe, and like Fatu was on the top rope above him, and he's going to do a splash on LA Knight, and then Drew would do that thing where he'd pull up and sling him off, and he'd do a splash on LA Knight. Fatu would get up immediately and throw that ass on Drew in the corner. And then he'd run, hit the ropes, and hit a suicide dive onto Damian Priest on the outside. And then get on the top rope and hit another swanton on LA Knight. He's just flying all over the damn place. Then LA Knight would hit a BFT on Jacob. Priest would hit a South of Heaven on LA Knight. Drew would hit a Claymore on Priest. And then Priest would fall onto LA Knight. 1, 2, but Drew McIntyre broke it up. Very good sequence. A lot of shit was going on. Drew was about to win, but Priest would once again screw Drew and pull the ref out. So they went into the crowd, started fighting. Drew and Priest were fighting on top of these crates, and Drew would go for a suplex on Priest off the crates, but Priest would scrape the eye and then hit the South of Heaven off the crates through tables on Drew. LA Knight would put Jacob Fatu on the announce table, and as he's gonna go put him through the table, Solo's there to save him. He takes him off the table, and LA Knight's mad. He's going after Solo, and then he just gets beamed with a clothesline. And who is it? It is Jeff Cobb. Yet again, another member added to the bloodline. How many fucking people are gonna be in the bloodline? It's ridiculous. And Fatu looks confused. Solo definitely didn't tell him about this. There's a little bit of tension going on here. Fatu would ultimately end the match with a moonsault and pin LA Knight and retain the United States Championship. Very good match and a very good way to open the show. Next up would be Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra comes out, she looks good as usual. I need Lyra to dress up as the Valkyrie Queen from God of War one year at WrestleMania. At one point, Becky's on the outside with Lyra and they're against the barricade, and Becky just starts talking shit to Lyra's fiance right in front of her face. Becky at one point would grab a chair and she'd go to hit Lyra, but the ref grabs the chair, and as the ref's back is turned, Becky would take off the turnbuckle pad. Becky would try to throw Lyra into the corner, but Lyra would reverse and try to throw Becky into the corner, but she stopped before she could hit the buckle. Becky would eventually throw Lyra into the corner, but she thankfully hit the second buckle, and then Becky would hit a manhandle slam and Lyra would kick out. The ref would notice that the buckle was gone and she tried to put the pad back on, all the while Lyra hit Nightwing, but the ref wasn't paying attention, so Becky was able to kick out a Nightwing. Lyra would go for Nightwing again, but Becky would reverse it and rake Lyra's eyes and go for a manhandle slam, but then she decided to like roll up Lyra, but Lyra countered and rolled up Becky and retained the championship. Becky did not give her any time to celebrate. She beat the shit out of her after the bell rang. Like milliseconds after the bell rang, she fucking attacked her. And then Becky would put the disarmer on Lyra, and at this point I thought Bayley was gonna come back and help, but I guess Becky fucked her up bad at WrestleMania. Very good match. I thought Becky was gonna win this one, but I'm not mad at all that Lyra retained. Lyra is now 2-0 against Becky at this point. And all I gotta say is Lyra is gonna be a huge star, and she's doing a very good job solidifying the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Next up is Dominik Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Dominik would hit a suicide dive on Penta, but he would turn it in a tornado DDT. It was really nice. At one point, Dominik would fall on the steps of his booth thing and hit the Oblivion, making Liv Morgan probably proud, filming her movie right now. Penta would hit a nasty Mexican Destroyer on the apron, and the Judgment Day comes out. Their shenanigans are already starting. And Finn would go to distract the ref, and as he's doing it, Penta would go on the top rope, and then here comes El Grande Americano, and he would headbutt Penta with the thing in his mask again, costing Penta, and Dominik Mysterio retains the Intercontinental Championship. Very good match, but it was bogged down by the Judgment Day and El Grande Americano getting involved. After this match, they showed an upcoming match, and it's none other than Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. Holy shit, I mean, what the fuck is going on? Next up would be Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Gunther would make his entrance. He's rode his hand like an excited ant. He knows he's gonna fucking kill this guy. But he doesn't, because this match is competitive for some reason. And the crowd is still chanting, "You tapped out at Gunther. Triple H, you will burn in hell for what you've done." At one point, Gunther would put Pat in the Boston Crab, and Michael Cole got up. He's trying to motivate Pat. He goes to the apron. "Come on, Pat, come on." But Gunther's not having it. He drags Cole into the ring, and he's going to give him a power bomb, but Pat luckily saves him. But it would have been nice to see. At one point, Pat McAfee's on the apron, and Gunther's trying to suplex him back into the ring, but Michael Cole holds Gunther's feet and Pat lands on him, and for a second I thought he was gonna win. My heart dropped to the depths of my asshole. I was so scared Gunther was gonna lose. But ultimately Gunther would put Pat McAfee in the sleeper hold and put him to sleep. But he did fight. He put up a fight, even though he's just a commentator. And Gunther immediately tapped out at WrestleMania. Pat McAfee lasted longer in a sleeper hold than Gunther did. After the match, Cole would check up on Pat McAfee. If it was me, I would have had Gunther powerbomb Michael Cole and then put Pat McAfee in another sleeper hold. But that's not what happened. He gave respect to Pat McAfee. What happened? Just a few weeks ago, Gunther was bathing in Jimmy Uso's blood, like an actual wrestler, not a commentator. He had him in a sleeper hold, just bathing in his blood, drinking his blood like he's Hangman Adam Page at Full Gear. Why is a former World Heavyweight Champion and one of the best wrestlers in the company in Gunther having a competitive match against a commentator? The less said about this match, the better. Next up is the main event, one last time, Randy Orton versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. And the nostalgia is hitting, knowing that this is John Cena and Randy Orton's last match together. Cena would hit an AA on Randy Orton, but he would turn it into an RKO as they was going down. Cena would start to hit his comeback, and as the second time he was coming around his comeback, Randy catches him in midair, and then Cena would try to hit a punt on Randy Orton. But Randy would move, and he's going for the RKO, but Cena shoves Randy Orton to the ref, and there's a ref bump. Cena would grab the WWE Championship and get in the ring to hit Randy Orton, but Randy would be able to catch him with an RKO, but the ref's too slow to count, and Cena would be able to kick out. Randy Orton's pissed. He clears the announce table, but the ref's trying to talk to him. "Randy, don't do this, please." Then Cena would push the ref into Randy Orton, and there's another ref bump again. Cena would try to AA Randy Orton through the table, but Randy would reverse and hit the AA on John Cena through the announce table, which slowly broke. It eventually broke, but it took some time. Randy Orton pulled another table from outside of the ring and hit another AA on Cena through it. Randy would hit another RKO in the ring, but there's still no ref. But luckily there's a ref hauling ass down to the ring, but it's not enough. Cena kicks out again, and Randy's arguing with the ref. Then Cena's lining up to hit Randy with the belt again, but as he does, Randy moves, and Cena hits the ref. Yet again, the third ref bump in this match. Nick Aldis and some officials would come down to the ring and check out the referee. Randy's frustrated, so he hits an RKO on Nick Aldis and every son of a bitch that moved with an RKO. And now Cena's down. Randy's going for the punt again, but as he's gonna hit the punt, R-Truth comes out and saves his childhood hero from being punted. Randy's pissed. "What are you doing here?" He hits him with an RKO. Cena would then low blow Randy Orton and hit him with the belt, and the ref would slowly count the 3 and Cena retains. The match was better than I thought it would be, but the ending was a bit shitty, but the nostalgia balanced it all out, so it was pretty good. And then after the show went off, Cena's like looking at the belt and everyone's chanting "Thank you, Cena," and he looks a little conflicted, like, maybe I shouldn't have sold my soul to The Rock. Maybe I should have won this fair and square. These people have looked up to me for so many years, and I turned my back on them. Maybe I'm regretting all this. Then he went and did the press conference, put R-Truth through a table, so he's not that conflicted. And that was Backlash. Overall, the pay-per-view was better than I expected. With no build and no excitement and the matches looking meh, I wasn't all that hyped. But it was better than I expected. There's some really good matches, and a match that I'll never probably watch or speak of again. Becky and Lyra was obviously the match of the night. The Fatal 4-Way was awesome. Dom and Penta was good. It could have been better without the shenanigans and if they went a little bit longer. Main event, aside from the shitty ending, was good. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you enjoy Backlash? Did you enjoy Pat McAfee versus Gunther? Because if you did, that's okay. We all have different opinions. We all like different things. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll make more silly videos like this in the future, so stop on by when the time comes. But until then, be careful.